Hello Anutini, thanks for taking the time to check out today's new video. If you haven't done already, please like and subscribe and check that bell notification so you'll be notified every time a new video drops, because who doesn't like fun nerdy stuff and making things. So we will be taking this old lawn ornament from faded and boring to new and upgraded. So I've had this lawn ornament about maybe 15 years. Moved it around to several different houses, always had it outside, and now he is faded and breaking. His little faucet's coming off. The tubing, as you can see here, is cracked, broken. Just the paint chipping off, faded and gone. I believe it was dropped at one time, broke that part, and just needs a facelift. So I contemplated on what I wanted to do with it. Since it is a lawn ornament, I was thinking about making it into a little water feature outside where water would spray out of his little hose nozzle here and then just go in and get recycled with a water pump. And I thought that was a good idea, but I would have to put it in a big vase with the water and a screen and all that underneath it, and then during the winter time take it all apart, take out the water pump so it didn't freeze and break, and it's just a little too much more work than I really want to do as far as just the maintenance every winter and then putting it back during the spring and all that. And then I contemplated making it into a lamp. My only reservation with that was some of this is all resin. And the reservation I had with that was these little tools that he has here would look a little weird, I think, if you didn't know what it was before. And I guess I could, cut these off, and then I'd have to fill them in and stuff. But since, I've always had it as a lawn ornament, I figured I would keep it that way and just refresh it as a standing lawn ornament and make it make a little bit more sense. I don't have any photos of when I got it originally. I'll have to put one up, find one and put one up for you so you can see. But he had like standing on a base of stone, and then around him had green grass, and then just has a hose and spigot there, and all cute and whatnot. But I figured since I'm going to revamp him, because he needs painted anyway, so figured I'd update him as well and make it make a little bit more sense with a mini moisture evaporator here to actually provide the water. And instead of being on stone, since they live on Tatooine mostly, add sand here like I did for the Little Mermaid lamp that I did. And that way it's a little more realistic, like he's in Tatooine, and just give him a facelift, make him look new, and we'll see how that goes. Here's a stock photo of when he would have looked like when he was new. Just kind of plain, cheap paint, and then a few extra detail shots of how he's weathered down over the years, sitting in the sun. As you can see, I love Jawas. Have a beach towel with a Jawa on it.
even a tattoo on my shin of a Jawa. So took just the raw print of the moisture evaporator and decided that since it's going to be sitting out in the sun directly, maybe indirectly, depends on where I put it, but decided to cover it with some UV resin to help strengthen it and harden it so it doesn't warp or melt sitting in the sun because it's just PLA. But just poured the UV resin on it and using a brush to spread it around, make sure it's covered as much as possible. And then when I'm done with this, just set it out in the sun, let it harden. Here I am making the modifications to the statue itself, using a grind wheel to cut off the hose, getting as much as I could with that since it would do a faster job, and then get the Dremel to get in on the sides without damaging the Jawa itself. Get it as clean as possible. Later, after it got it removed, used a file and stuff and sanded it down, and then finished that and then spray painted base black coat on it. And then after that, used the airbrush and painted the robes brown, filled the hole there in the back with some XPS foam, and then covered the moisture evaporator in just a primer white, added the little spigot on there. And here I'm using a very watered down black as a wash to just kind of accentuate some shadows and stuff in the folds of the robes on the Jawa. And then started painting the face, gloss black, get that all covered up. The robes were the only thing I airbrushed, really. Everything else was hand painted. Kind of washed around the edges of the hood there, and then started painting the shoes. Just did those in a solid black. And then added some details to the pouches, and then painted the leather strap black as well. Went back, made sure I got the edges of the strap and not just the front of it. I know it's just going to be sitting outside, but wanted to put a good bit of detail as I could into it. And start painting the little hand tools in his pouches. Just used a orange to paint the handles. Most of these had to do several coats. of paint to cover it up, other than, of course, the black. So painted them up and then let them dry, and then did a second coat pretty much on everything. Same with the gloves. Wanted to keep those original green garden gloves that he came with. So just painted those. I believe it was an apple green. Got everything painted. Put some silver on the shovel and the little rake in his pouch, and on the hose spigot. And painted the yellow on the gloves and glued down the moisture evaporator. Now I'm going to do the base. This is the same technique I used for the Little Mermaid lamp that I used or made. Just basically some half and half of play sand and some Mod Podge. Mix it up using a glove, and I started trying to apply it with the glove on because I didn't know if I was going to need a tool or something to help spread it with my left hand. Didn't want to get sand and glue all over the tool, but it wasn't spreading or laying down that well with the glove on, so I decided to take it off and just applied the sand by hand. Just making sure I get it around everywhere. Try not to get it too much on the moisture evaporator and the Jawa, but had to get it little tool out to kind of push it into the side between the Jawa and the moisture evaporator, because there was a hole there left from the where the hose was that I grinded off. Make sure covering the base around the edges, pushing it in. Make sure all the stone and base part is fairly covered. I saw some black sticking out, so went back, made sure it was all covered up. Let it sit and dry overnight. And then mixing it that way is a lot faster, but it kind of leaves the sand looking a little, like, I guess you would say, non-natural. So to add a little more extra strength, keep the sand from breaking off, I added more Mod Podge. I believe the super hard kind, and then just sprinkled the play sand right on top of that. That way it gave it a more natural sand look. And here's some glamour shots after he was finished. Please comment down below what you think. And thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification button when my next video will be. See you later.